Hey guys, this is Vic from GraspingTheMarket and welcome to our market briefing. We had no larger time frame change as we continue trading inside the previous week's range. Nonetheless, we've seen today a very interesting move which reversed the late break that we saw on Wednesday. The daily one-time framing is still in place, one-time framing lower for the time being, but we have potential daily excess established today with a very strong close, which if this excess is confirmed in tomorrow's session, that increases dramatically the odds of going towards the all-time high around the 3020 area. On the market profile, I would like to highlight a few things. We gapped lower today and we immediately closed that gap. Perhaps a consequence of the low volume break that we saw in the previous session. Now, there were three main things that I saw that telegraphed the late move, or at least the potential for the late move that we saw. First of all, when we rally in the morning, we went inside the range, but we came very close, like within 4 ticks of closing the lower distribution. So that high was itself not weak because it didn't touch it, but it was questionable. Then it also it had only 2 ticks excess. Leaving that high there with 2 ticks excess starting coming down, the odds increase that this is not going to go very far away and that potentially will come back to that. So we had a very sharp move, and this is the second point that I want to make. We had a strong move on D and E period, but stopped short of reaching the overnight low. That's very strange for a move of that magnitude continuing the push lower from the previous session. So at that point, on the F period, we start pushing back, not reaching the overnight low after such a move, and this questionable high very close from the singles and only 2 ticks excess increases the odds that we were going up. And that's the third thing. We started trending up, one time framing up, and we re-enter the range. When we re-enter a range, leaving excess outside, you need to be careful. Obviously, the rally was triggered by headlines, Fed commentary suggesting the possibility is even higher that we will get a rate cut, and that's what triggered the move. But the stage was set before that came on the wires. Another interesting thing is that the upper distribution that we form is exactly the low of that distribution is exactly at the level denoting change that we pointed out in yesterday's briefing. So that's for sure. We have acceptance above that level, we have change, and in fact we have a double distribution for the session. So our immediate focus for tomorrow is value relative to this upper distribution. If we get acceptance, the positive scenario, we get acceptance within that validates, and it's likelihood that it's going to probe higher given the strong close that we had. If we get acceptance above, that will confirm the daily excess, and as I said earlier, that will bring into play the Wednesday high and potentially target the all-time highs. Now, if we get acceptance below the afternoon low, which is 29.9250, and we close this distribution, that will denote change versus this move and will increase the odds of the market becoming rotational. Remember that this will be trading in the middle of the range. So that will increase the odds of the market becoming being in short-term balance, let's say.